Good afternoon, and thank you all so much for joining me live today. I didn't expect such a turnout. My name is Ellen Dornan, and I'm the Digital Humanities Program Officer for the New Mexico Humanities Council. And if you have any questions today, go ahead and email me, ellen@nmhumanities.org, or you can use the chat feature on the side of the YouTube page, and I'll see your questions as they come up. So today we're going to talk about adding your own historic maps to the Atlas of Historic New Mexico Maps. And you can find that at atlas.nmhum.org. So I'm going to be showing you on screen how this is going to work, and I hope it is useful for everybody who's watching. So for what it's worth, all of this information is also online written. If you go to the Atlas, click on the button for lesson plans, then click on the link for adding your own maps. You'll find everything in writing here, and there's a whole bunch of links and useful resources. Just to be clear, this feature was designed for teachers working with students who wanted to create historic maps or annotate maps to tell histories of their neighborhood or what have you. I am the person who approves, who gets to add stuff to the map. So I have made a community map, and you can find it here on the page. Click up at the bottom on student maps and the community map here. So I want to be clear that, you know, I approve who gets to add maps to this site. So if you have an interest, just explain to me what you want to do, and I'll be happy to work with you either to make your own map container for your project, or to add you as a teacher, add you as a class, add a group, however you want to do it. We're happy to see people use this feature. So the first thing that you want to have to do this is you want to have Google Earth. And Google Earth is a free download, and it's a pretty powerful tool. And what you can do with Google Earth is you can organize all your information and media, and then export a file that you can upload as a single file to the Atlas to add your historic map. There are great educational resources for Google Earth. If you go look online, you'll find them very easily, but it's pretty easy and it's pretty straightforward. So, you know, the first thing that you would want to figure out how to do is find places, and there's a handy search tab up here at the top. So you can type in the kinds of places you want to find, like say you're interested in New Mexico forts. And it searches and it brings up a ton of New Mexico forts. And you can see them all as markers, and it's all very useful. So, okay, here's one that we want, Fort Craig National Historic Site. So I right-click on this search result and save it to my places. And you'll find my places right down here. So let's see, where'd it go? Fort Craig National Historic Site right here in my places. That's awesome. And so, you know what I think I want to do is I want to make a folder of New Mexico forts, of a bunch of New Mexico forts. So I can right click in the My Places tab, add a folder. So this is going to be my New Mexico forts KML project. Okay, cool. And now we're in business. And now all I have to do is click and drag that marker in to put it in my little folder. All I have to do. There we go. And now it's in my folder. So if I have other information, I can certainly add that in as well. And I can also edit this. So I can right click on here, click Get Info, and it pulls up some information that I can look at to see, you know, what there is when you click on the window here. We'll see what happens when you click on the window. You get a little thing that says Fort Craig and the address and the phone number and a link for the National Park Service, even though it's BLM land. That's a funny thing. So, okay, so you know what? I think I want to edit mine and change it a little bit and say, I don't want any of that, actually. So this is my information about Fort Craig. And then, you know what, because I can't resist, let's go find the correct link. So Fort Craig, New Mexico. All right, Fort Craig Historic Site. So we're going to copy this link address, go back over to Google Earth, and say, here is the correct website. Yay. And we can add it as a link like this. There we go. So now when we click on our marker, this is my information about Fort Craig. Here's the correct website. Awesome. So you can edit these markers. The text field supports standard HTML. So again, in that resources page, there are a couple of PDF handouts for basics of HTML tags in case you're not familiar with how to create links or how to change text or make headers or do bolding or things like that. So of course, you can also add images to these info windows. And in the case of the atlas, you always want to be adding a web image. So if you are linking to an image that's on a local file, that image will not, that link will be broken when you upload the KML to the atlas. The internet doesn't know where to find your local directories. So always add a web image. And if you're using your own image, we recommend using some cloud image hosting service. And both Flickr and Google Photos are two examples of free services that allow for creating shared folders or shared resources. They allow for sharing to the public, setting the sharing settings so that they're visible or usable. And you can get direct links to those images if you need to. So if you want to add a web image, it's going to want a URL. So let's go ahead and find a good picture here. Here's a good picture. Oh, wow. So let's see. Let's see if we can get a link on one of these images. I'm going to do this a different way. So, oh, here's a good usable image from Wikipedia. So we know that this is going to be public domain. And we do ask that people use public domain images so that the Humanities Council doesn't have any copyright concerns. Take that link, go back to Earth, and paste in the URL. So now when we click on the thing, it has, let's see, that's my marker. Now it shows, oh, that's the other one. It's the problem with having two markers in one place. Here we go. Oh. did not save that. All right, well, you can always do a handy HTML tag for your image as well. Let's see if that works. Yeah, here we go. So, and of course you can add things to scale your image if you need to. So the other, if you want to add your own place markers that are just somewhere where you want them to be, then you can use, they have some good functions here. So let's see. Since we're doing forts, let's grab our little thumbtack here. And it gives you a little marker that you can drag around and do whatever you want. So we'll drag it over here to the visitor center of the Fort Stanton. We're going to say it's the Fort Stanton Visitor Center. And in Google Maps, you can do a lot of things because you can shift and tilt. So you can change the view and the altitude. You can have a marker way up in the air. You can have it looking in a certain direction. So, you know, we could change it so it was looking at the fort. That will not translate in the KML document. It's not supported in Google Maps, which is the platform for the atlas. So don't worry too much about that. You can fix the way that your marker looks. You can make it different things. And you can also make your own custom icons if you're so inclined. Make it a little information thing because it's the visitor center. Okay, yay. And let's go ahead and put this in our folder too. So let's say that you were working with a group of people and you wanted to organize your markers. So you could say I'm going to have a folder for everyone in my group. And then you can put the other folders inside it. Your goal is going to be to export one KML file. Let's see. I want to put this. Your goal is going to be to export one KML file, so you're going to want one folder, but it will get everybody in that folder. So all the projects in that folder will be exported as part of your KML file. So here, let's say somebody in my group is doing forts. There we go. So there we go. So so one person in my group is doing forts. Oh, look, here's Fort Craig things. We'll put that in the fort too. Let's say somebody else in the group is is doing something like missions. New Mexico missions. So there's certainly missions that we can add. We want to go ahead and make a new folder, add a new folder for the missions. And you can, if you are working with different people, they can do one part of this process, send you the KML file, and you can import the KML file into here. Let's say, you know what, I actually want to look at the Salinas in here. So say, so here's Quarai. We'll add a marker. Say here's Quarai mission, and we'll drag it into place. And then we want to put another one up at Chilili here. Well, Chilili mission. And then I want to show how people were traveling between there. And so we can add in a path, so trail between missions. And we can just, oops, got too excited there. So get it back open. And we get a little drawing tool is what we get. So we say, okay, well, they went up here, they went up through Torion, they went around the edge here, they went all the way around and into here to the mission. So, okay, so this is the trail people took between the Pueblo missions. All right. And with the trails, actually, let's do this. With the trails, you can definitely fool around with the style a lot. So you might want to make that much heavier because you want it to be clickable. And remember, if somebody clicks on it, they're going to get the little info window. So you want that to work. If you want to have more information than just a little sentence or a sentence and a photo, sentence, a photo and a link, something like that, a good thing to do is to use some sort of document publishing service. Again, you want to have whatever material you're linking to or whatever resources you're linking to be somewhere public on the web. So I know a free and easy way that a lot of people use is using Google Docs. So actually, and with Google Docs, you can create an entire web page and publish it so that it's publicly available, and then you can get a link for it. So, say we were writing an essay about the Salinas Pueblo missions, right? So we say, we'll give it a title here. And we can write whatever we want. And again, you can add in images if you want. So you can search the web right from this interface. Say, I want a picture of Query. That's a good picture. Pop it in, insert. Okay. And when you're satisfied with this document and you're ready to publish it, you can do File, Publish to the Web. And then it'll give you the option for a link to link to or for an embed code. So we're going to publish it. Yay. And I'll show you what it looks like with the embed code. It's not optimal. So let's drop a little marker here for the Salinas. So Salinas Pueblo missions. And because this field is just pure HTML, you just paste the embed right in there, and it's going to embed that web page into the info window. But as you can see, it gets kind of constrained. and it gets kind of wonky, and you can't make this box better or bigger or whatever. So less than optimal. But a better way to go about doing it is to get that link and say, more information about the Salinas Pueblo missions here. Okay. And we'll just paste the link in there. And then you have something. Let's try that again. I don't know whether this is my computer or Google Earth. I'm not liking what I'm doing, but it's easy enough to just write in those tags if you have to. And there you get a nice little link that's going to open up your window. And it's pretty readable, and works pretty well. So, okay, so let's see. Got everybody in my group. We've got the person who's doing the New Mexico forts here. I'm just going to collapse that. We've got the person who's doing the missions. Here's all the stuff with the missions. Good, good. Let's throw in, here's some historic byways. So we'll throw that in too. And there, now we've got 3 representative projects. I'll expand the historic byways. So some of this was information that was sourced online. And I'll turn everything else off so you can see it. There we go. And I'll turn the missions off. Okay. So we'll close the search. So what we've got with the historic byways is a couple of things. We've got the Geronimo Trail Scenic Byway here. And you can see how it shows as a route with directional markers here. And that was automatically imported. There are, let's see, if you double click, it'll zoom in on that marker, that file, that folder. So here are points of interest for the Billy the Kid Scenic Byway. So you can see the byway here. We can turn that off. And then you can see points of interest. So there's all the campgrounds and historical markers and what have you. So those are, those could be 2 separate folders or single folder. And that was all pulled from publicly sourced information where I just pulled the markers into my places by searching for, let's see, what is this? Let's see, Billy the Kid, Lincoln, New Mexico. And then you get these things and you can save to my places from the search results. So the other thing that you can add in are you can add in layers. This is an image overlay. You can also add everything in from the add window. So photo, image overlay, path, polygon, model. If you're doing models in SketchUp or something similar, a CAD program, you can pull in models. Tours are fly-throughs and are not supported in maps. I'm not sure that the models translate to maps either, frankly, but the photos and the image overlays do. So with the photos, you can pull in historic photos or contemporary photos. And let's see, I'm not sure where it is. There it is. And they just show up as little markers. So that's pretty easy. With the image overlays, let's see. Oops. So I'm going to I'm going to pull in, I'm going to upload a map while we speak is what I'm going to do. Let's see. I know what to do. So I'm going to pull in a map from Google Drive, and this is one that I just have stored. But I have it publicly accessible. And so I can, because I have the sharing settings and Drive set, I can serve it up as a document through the Atlas when I upload this KML file. And so again, whatever you have, Google Drive is a great place for helping a lot of people organize information and keep it. You can keep the sharing settings within a folder consistent. So here, let's pull in this map of the Camino Real. It's a big one. Maybe I'll just do it this way. There we go. That's the one I want. We'll do the PNG. One. All right. Okay, I'm going to go back to my plan of uploading a map. This is too hard. All right. So here's a map by Bernardo Miro y Pacheco. And I'm just going to pull it up in here, upload it, and we'll move on while that's doing that. Another resource for document sharing is Wiki Spaces. I mean, I think all these things are possible as long as you can make the materials publicly accessible. And if you're working with a group of people, like a group of students or with partners or whatever, you want to have a single resource so that you're all sharing in one place, and that you're setting those sharing settings consistently across all your materials. Let's see. Ugh. All right. I'm going to show you what it looks like anyway to pull in an overlay. So we're going to say, for the sake of argument, we're going to add it as a local image. And I'll go ahead and find that map again. All right. So let's do the, try and choose the overlays with as big resolution as you can. Oh. So we have the link to the file. We have another link. So, oh my goodness. Look, it put it in such a weird place. That's okay. So we're going to get the info, get it so that we can edit it. And we can pull it out. We can make it big. We can move it around. Oops. Oh. We can rotate it by grabbing these diamond-shaped handle, the little diamond-shaped handle here. So let's see where we are with this. This is a map of northern New Mexico and Utah. Wow. So let's get all the way out so we can see what we're looking at. Oh, see, it's not even. Let's get the world turned the right way. All right, so we want it to be up here in Utah. We want it to be a lot bigger. Let's just go ahead and make it bigger. You can hold down Shift to constrain the dimensions. Just gotta turn the right way. And then you grab the corners to expand it. You know what? I think I expanded it too much because it's really like in there. And because if you are using historic maps, then they may not correspond to reality very well. And so you can have the choice of either squishing the map so that it does fit reality a little bit better. Like if this is really starting in Abiquiu, it's really going to be like that. And like, I don't know, there's the Great Salt Lake up there. So you want to pull that up. Here's the Great Salt Lake. So it's really going to be kind of like that, which distorts the map. But it's up to you whether you want to show it in context of where the historic map is, or if you want to show it in sort of a more geographically appropriate place. But when you place the image, and again, you want to be placing an image that's online, not something from your local drive. But when you place the image, you want to be the positioning that you put it in with Google Earth, as precise as you can make it, is how it's going to show up in the atlas. So, okay, so look, we have 3 different projects, and you know what? We're going to move the Mira overlay out and just put it by itself. So we have 3 different projects here, everyone in my group. So are we done? Yay, we're done. So we're going to save place as, and the default is a KMZ file, but we don't want that. We want it to be a KML file. So I'm going to say this is Alan Dornan's group project. Yay. And you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and save it to my desktop. And now we can go to the atlas. So if you want to be adding your own maps to the atlas, you need to register as a teacher. And when you go through the registration process, you request to be a teacher. You fill out this teacher educator part, the optional teacher educator part. Just let me know what's going on, why you want access to the maps. Again, I approve these. And so, you know, if you give me a good reason and you want to do it, then I'm happy to work with you. Once I have bumped your admin status up to teacher, you can log in as a teacher. And it takes you right to those community map pages. And you can look in your account and see what materials you already have uploaded. So see, as a teacher, I've already uploaded a map of New Mexico counties here. So this is where you can see what you've done, and you can delete it if you don't like it. So let's see, let's go back to the maps. Go back to the student maps here. And we'll go to the community map. And again, if you want a new map container for your project, I'm really happy to work with you on that. If you want to showcase one classroom or one group of people doing work, I'm all for it. So over here, there's a button to upload KML. So you upload it and you get to choose your title. So my wonderful maps. Might as well make that all caps, huh? Choose the file. Remember, I put it on my desktop. So there we go. And click upload. And it doesn't take long to upload it. It really doesn't, because it's just a little teeny tiny text file. But you get a message saying it's been uploaded. Yay! And then if you refresh or reload that page, then you see all your stuff. And you see, so for example, you see everything pretty much comes through. So here's our special markers that we were making, right? Here's our information about the Salinas Pueblo missions with the link to the web page that we made. Here's the route. Might have to, and see, this is why you kind of want to make the roots a little bit heavier, because they're hard to click on. And you can see on the side each one of the KML files that are uploaded. So if you go back to the student maps and look at these, you can see how there are a number of different users who have uploaded different KML files. So if you're a teacher and you have students, you could upload one KML file per student. So it would be clear all the different student works, all the different projects. And you can certainly, do conceptual things like, the Four Sacred Mountains of the Dene homeland, something like that. Another thing that you can upload is KML files from other places. So this is just a standard, here, I'll turn this off so it's a little bit easier to see. So this is just try that again. A standard shape file that is something that the government produces. A lot of people produce shape files. It's sort of a standard GIS format. And you can get shape to KML file conversions free online. So if you do search for, it's .shp, if you do a search for New Mexico County's .shp, then you'll get these little free shape files. Run it through an online converter and turn it into a KML, and then you can pull it into the atlas, and you can have layers of things like counties or things like vegetation or historic districts or whatever. So there's all kinds of information that different government entities have put together and put out as GIS information. So that's a really easy conversion. Again, it's free. So if you feel like that would contribute to your map, then go for it. And then again, if you decide that you don't like what you just did or you want to do it a little bit differently, you can always go into your account and just delete the KML file and it'll disappear. One thing that you can do with the KML files, because they are so little bitty, they are hand editable text documents. So when you open them up in a text editor, you can see it'll show you the coordinates, it'll show you the text that's in there, it'll show you the title, and if there's additional information, you can go in there and you can hand edit it, so that it is has the information you want. If you don't want to edit through those Google Earth place markers, you can just edit it by typing. So once you get that KML file, and you can add in different things about the source or the originator or what have you. I do not think I have anything else to add to this, and I do not see that I've gotten any questions today, so I'm going to wrap it up. If you do have follow-up questions, please feel free to email me, ellen@nmhumanities.org. If you want to become a teacher so that you can add your own KML files and your own projects to the Atlas, then go ahead and register and I'll get you taken care of right away. We really appreciate your time today joining us. And if you would like, we will be having a follow-up webcast in November on using the Atlas of Historic New Mexico Maps for doing primary source research on New Mexico history topics, primarily for the Breaking Barriers in History National History Day program that's going on this year. And that will be at 4 p.m. on Tuesday, November 12th at 4 p.m. Using the Atlas for primary source research on New Mexico history topics. And it's got amazing features in that direction too. So we hope you do join us. Share with your friends, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and look forward to seeing what you make with your maps.